Well, this is happening. Toshi and the devs have decided to Zenkai yet another Sun Family hybrid unit, specifically a purple one. So he's gonna, without question, because he's literally identical in terms of his tags for the Revival Gohan. So there's no way he's not gonna buff him under any circumstance. Do I think he'll replace him on either of their tags? I don't know. We'll have to see his kit. I personally feel like the Revival is far too valuable at the end of the day, but I guess it'll come down to stars. So with that being said, we are going to do a equipment guide for Goten. How's it going, everybody? Stop Vegeta saying, what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies? Yeah, we'll just hop right into it. I'm personally not excited for a multitude of reasons. It might be a little bit because I just hate Goten as a character, but, you know, this just seems like such a foolish decision for them to make. But at the end of the day, I mean, my guy's not high enough for me to Zenkai him anyway, so I can save out on the resources. So I'm not too bothered by it, so I'm not going to get too pissy about it and go on a rant in this. Let's get into helping you guys find the best equips and where to find them. So right off the bat, we have the Awakened Family Kamehameha. This one you're going to have to get the unawakened version in the Equipment Metal Shop, and they are the most expensive equips. The Platinum equips are 10 medals as opposed to 3 medals in the Equipment Metal Exchange Shop. So they are going to be a little bit pricey, and the Awakening, if I'm not mistaken, is also just slightly higher. I believe they're like 5,000 instead of 2,000. I'm going to have to double check before I confirm that. But anywho, this is without a doubt, unquestionably, you need to be running this on him. And that's because, not just because of the multitude of buffs it's giving, like Special Move, Ultimate Move at really high percentage, 21.5, Pure Buff to Strike and Blast Defense per Sun Fam battle member, and then a Pure Strike and Blast Attack per Sun Family battle member for a little bit lower. But the thing that really gets me here is that this essentially gives him another passive, in that the Restore Own Health by 3 to 5% when this character is switched to Standby. That's giving him another passive. Like, that's insane. This is an extremely broken equip. I don't think there's any other equip in the game that does this. So without a question of a doubt, you should be running this guy, or you should be running this equip on this guy if you're running him. So just to confirm, I was actually right. It is more expensive, but it's not nearly as expensive as I said. I said it was 5,000. It's 3,500. So yeah, that's that. Next, we have the Awakened Triple Exclamation Point. This one you can get via Z medals and equipment medals. And yeah, this one right here, this is pretty much a across the board hybrid equip that you should be running, because Strike Defense, Pure Blast Attack per Saiyan, and Pure Strike Attack per Hybrid Saiyan. It is quite wild. Like a Pure Blast Attack, Pure Strike Attack, just for being ran with your respective team. Even on Sun Fam, you know, because you'll probably have FSK. Some people run Future Gohan if you're running the Transforming Goten. There's definitely options in terms of hybrids to be run alongside him to make this really, really worth his while, even if you're running him on Sun Fam. So yeah, that's that. And let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have the Awaken. You Can Do It Right, Gohan. This is another one that you can get via the equipment medals. And then obviously you guys know where to get the Awakenings, Ultra Space Time Rush. With that, it's got the Pure Buff to Strike Defense per Sun Family battle member, and then Strike Attack and Blast Attack. So yeah, I mean, for the most part, other than the blue Trunks and the green, the green movies Trunks, Hybrids is all Sun Family as well. So not necessarily too big of a deal, because, I mean, even there are people that even run the Future Gohan, there are people that run the Ultimate Gohan still, you know, there are definitely plenty of options in terms of whatever his team is going to be, that he's still going to be getting some very respectable buffs for this little pure buff right here. So next up we have the Awaken Leave My Dad Alone, and this one is pretty stacked if you ask me. It's got a whole bunch of different stats right here: Strike Attack, Blast Defense, Ki Recovery, Special Move, need I go on, all of them at a very healthy percentage. 18% to the respective offensives and Blast Defense, Ki Recovery 12.5, Special Move at 12.5, fairly high for both of those stats respectively. this overall is just astronomically, just an absolutely nuclear hybrid equip, and I believe it's for hybrid range types. Yeah, so this one is one that I also run personally on my FSK. Highly recommend farming this guy up if you can, for units like FSK, for this guy right here, for the blue Zenkai trunks. A lot of good options for this equip. As for where to find the unawakened version, there are a multitude of levels throughout the Zenkai Raditz event. There's a couple of the EXs on the normal difficulty, and then a couple of the EXs on the hard difficulty as well. So there are plenty of options for you there. Next up, we've got this key. It's gotta be. And it's got blast attack, strike defense, and critical. All for pretty respectable numbers. Not amazing, but pretty respectable. This was actually one of the first Z equips I ever obtained, and that's because this is fairly straightforward to come by, because not only is it available in the equip medals and the Z medal shop, but it's actually for a long time, like a long time, long before Zenkais even existed, has been in the Ultra Space Time Rush exchange shop. And so you were able to just kind of like farm it up back in the day when Rush medals meant next to nothing. You were able to just kind of farm this bad boy up. And so again, this was one of the first Z equips I ever had. Would highly recommend farming this guy up if you can. Because again, the respectable stats are pretty solid here. And Goten is a Super Saiyan, so giving him that little crit buff right there, you know what I'm saying? If you guys want to make some toxic builds, not doing anything other than alluding to those. Next, we got my favorite equip in the game, Hurry Up and Die. You can get this bad boy for your Z medals, key recovery 10%, 12% to special move, and 20% to blast attack. And the best part is how indiscriminate it is, applying to every range type in the game. So yes, I, without a shadow of a doubt, highly recommend this bad boy right here. And any Z medals that you get, this is one of the first ones I would recommend farming up. Next up, we got the HAAAAA equip. And this one is pretty interesting, just because I would say that this is probably not the greatest choice for him. But if you are someone who likes to try and balance out your stats and you are looking to do double offenses, this will still balance out those stats, because you are getting a pure buff to strike attack as long as he's being run with a red or blue battle member. And considering FSK exists, shouldn't be a problem for you. This one's pretty easy to come by too. We'll hop over to the game real quick and I'll show you that. So while you could use your equipment medals, you can also go over to the Zenkai EX Vegeta event, and then in there you can go to battle EX4, and it'll be one of the rewards right there. You guys can see that the opponents are this Turles, Raditz, and the EX Vegeta himself. So we have the equip right here, and this one I would say is probably not the greatest choice, just because it's not nearly as good as its awakened version, but the awakened version doesn't apply to him because it's for hybrid red units, but it does have some pretty good, since it is either going to be double strike defense or double blast attack, whichever one it ends up being is going to be pretty high. It's upwards of 27.5%, so I actually have a Z copy with a double blast attack roll, which really, again, you are kind of sacrificing another slot, but you're getting a pretty high blast attack roll there. So, if you don't necessarily have a lot of equips, this is probably a good one to farm up for you, especially because this one's extremely easy to come by, since you can get it via the gold coins you get from the one-a-day Legends Road Trunks event, which you get 400 to 500 coins a day. Go to the equipment medal or the exchange shop, and then for those medals, you can use those gold coins to exchange in the equipment section of that exchange shop, and this bad boy will be right there. Next up, we got Becoming Super Saiyan, which has got strike defense, 20% to blast attack, and then 7% to key recovery. This one right here is once again easy to come by and very easy to farm up, because it comes from one of the events that you can pretty much just always farm. When we go to the equipment collection, and you go over to the Super Saiyan battle, you will find that this level equipment is right here. So this is very easy to come by, it's very easy to beat. First go around 300, 600, and 1000. Very low level to beat. You just gotta hop in with the Super Saiyan character the first time, and then as soon as you've cleared all the thingamajiggers over here, you can skip to your heart's content. Similarly, we have the No Way equip, which is going to be an all-around defensive equip for movie characters. Defense with 12.5 blast defense, 15% to strike defense, and 10% to health. Now, once again, the Awakened version definitely is much, much better, but the Awakened version applies to powerful opponent movie characters, not to just all movie characters. So this one is pretty solid nonetheless, and this one is easy to come by, and we'll hop over real quick to prove that. So once again, in the equipment collection, we go over to the movie battle, and then you've got Pycon, Cooler, and Broly, and then you've got the equip sitting right over there. It's the last one. Ta-da! Skip to your heart's content. Next up, we've got Ha, and this one applies to ranged movies characters. We've got double defenses with 12.5 to strike defense, 15 to blast defense, and then a pure buff to blast attack per saga battle member, or per movie's battle member. So this one right here, I think you're probably really only ever going to need this if you're running him on a purple-red setup with Revival Han, but I still think it's valuable nonetheless, because a pure 5% buff is still nothing to sneeze at. But if you are getting that pure 10% running him on purple-red, I think this is an excellent choice, once again giving the double defenses on top of this pure buff. And you can get this bad boy over here in the Ultimate Turles event. While you're in there, you can either go to this battle over here, the EX number 5, or there's a multitude of the step-up battles for you to achieve it. I personally found that this one was the best for farming it, so this is the one I'm going to recommend. So yeah, that's that. The one final equip that I want to look at is the Now Kakarot equip, which is the Platinum equip that you also get from the Turles event, so you still have some time to farm this one up. I'm kind of shocked that it's still floating around there, but I bet that the devs had this in mind. And this one is pretty good for him, especially if you're running it with that other Platinum equip, his Awakened Platinum equip, that is also giving him the health restoration on switch out. This is just going to make it absolutely more ridiculous on top of that. 10% to health restoration, 20% to strike attack, and 20% to strike or blast defense, with 30% to blast attack. This is just absolutely nasty for any ranged purple movie character. So yeah, that's that. I hope you guys found this one helpful. I know this is going to be a bit of a rough one coming forward, but hey, we'll make it through this meta together. It's going to be fine. I really don't think it's going to be as awful as we think it is, even though I too am quite upset about this, but truth be told, I don't think he's going to be as prevalent as people are making it out to be, and we will get Frieza or Vegito or Vegeta soon enough. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.